So what are the things which I have learned from Islam? There are many things which I have learned. I don't know from where to start. I can just say that to live life from an Islamic perspective and to live life from a non-Islamic perspective is like totally different ways of perceiving things. It's like two different planets altogether, if you know what I mean. For a Muslim, every little thing that we do and say, starting from the way we dress, from the way we eat, from the way we speak, even from the position of our furniture in our rooms, from the things the decoration in our houses, the types of our ways of greeting each other, things like that. Everything is different. It's all about the details. I can say for my own part, in all humility and in all sincerity, that all the good things that I have been able to implement in my character come from having studied Islam and being inspired by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And all the bad things which I have also come from me. It doesn't come from Islam, it comes from me. It comes from my weaknesses, my disappointments, my sins, my whatever you might call it, but I take the full responsibility for it. What I can tell you is that for me personally, after having studied different religions, after having experimented with different perhaps ideologies, at some point I felt agnostic, at some point I felt like in a crisis, at some point I was confused, no longer knowing what's good, what's not good. But after all these years of reading tons and tons and thinking a lot, I can tell you that what I gather from this philosophy is to have a clean body, a clean mind, a clean heart, and to just be living a life that is detached, a life that while you are participating in the worldly activities, you are very much in the worldly life, yet you are detached because it's not the real life here. That's what I love the most, because according to all other philosophies, most philosophies, it's like you have this life and you have to make it paradise here. But Muslims don't take this world as paradise. Muslims know that this is just like an airport, a waiting area, if you want, a waiting lounge. So it's just that. The dunya is just a waiting lounge. And then what comes after that, it's the real happiness, the real paradise, the real love. Everything will happen after that. Provided that you have done good deeds, of course. You don't just get to enjoy the benefits without sacrificing yourself to some extent. What I understand from the Quran, from the Salat, from observing Muslims, from being Muslim, from fasting and praying and all of that is you need to have pure intentions. You need to just do things which you will not be ashamed for anyone to know about what you have been doing, especially when no one is looking, because it's so easy to do morally right things in public, to show off your good deeds and to pretend that you're this super pious person out there. But then when you are in private, when no one can see, when you are on your phone, when you are doing things in secret that are not correct, or not ethical, or not moral, and you're doing all of that. So being a Muslim is challenging, it's hard, because you will have to, it's all about self-control. That's the word I was looking for, Self-control is so important and attractive. I like things which are different. I don't like to follow the crowd. And I love Islam because it allows me to not follow the crowd and to have that, that concept of self-control. Like you just don't do whatever you want to do. When it comes to lust, when it comes to hunger, when it comes to anger, when it comes to greed, there are so many things a Muslim is supposed to have self-control. You don't just, when you're fasting, you know that it's difficult, you feel hungry, you feel thirsty, it's not easy, You get used to it, obviously, but it's not easy in the beginning especially. But we know that the happiness that we get out of this sacrifice can never be, no one can understand that. No one who hasn't fasted can understand that. And yeah, self-control, like when you're angry, you don't give in to that anger. You have patience. That's one of the most beautiful things, again, which I I learned from Islam, I understand from Islam, is that in no matter what situation you find yourself, you should not be desperate or fall into darkness. You should not be allowing yourself to have this belief that, the world revolves around me. So just for my own little ego, God has to make everything perfect for me, because the world is all about me. The world is not all about you. That's why Allah tells you to have patience. You don't have a choice. You absolutely have to have patience in life, otherwise you will be totally consumed by depression. You will look around you and you will see so many things are not going to go your way. That's the bitter truth. That's the hard truth. So according to me, Islam has taught me self-control, has taught me to respect and honor myself, has taught me cleanliness, has taught me to have good relationships with others. It has taught me to not be too materialistic and greedy, and don't think that this world, I should have everything that I want in this world, because it's never going to happen. I can tell you that having that approach to life is a lifesaver. It's a lifesaver, because otherwise I cannot tell you that if we started to just think of this worldly life and focus on all the things which have gone wrong, then trust me, I think all of us, we would not be alive today. We would probably have shot ourselves. I'm not telling you to do that, just giving you an example. So I honestly, I do believe that no matter what happens in the future, no matter what the world might believe that Muslims are, I had started this channel of mine to dispel the ignorance that people have about Muslims, because most people think, according to what the media shows, according to their own preconceptions, they think that to be a Muslim is to hate everyone. They think that perhaps us Muslims, we hate other people, our minds are closed, and we are just bizarre, we are just backwards, and that we are ignorant or illiterate. We are not that. I'm sure you're intelligent enough. If you're watching this, you can see that I am articulate, I'm self-aware, I'm intelligent and educated. And I'm not saying this to brainwash people. I don't want to convert people. I don't want you to agree with what I'm saying. Let us agree to disagree. But I just want to tell you, perhaps if you don't know, that our way of thinking is that we just want to have a life where we have self-control, we have cleanliness, we have this integrity, this humility also. I'm going to talk about that in more detail. Humility and detachment from the worldly life, and do all the things which God would want us to do, because our ultimate return is to Him. So we are preparing for that. It might sound different, it might sound weird, I don't know what other people think about that. Maybe they find it cheesy or funny or absurd. But a Muslim basically lives for the world that will come after death. We prepare ourselves for that. You see? So that's a very beautiful concept, I believe. And I'm very glad that I'm getting to experience it. And I hope that you get to experience it too, maybe.